So we are going to build on what we did last week. We're going to do, we're going to start with some stretches, and then we're going to do 4 core exercises as we did last time. And so what we'll do today is 4 stretches and then 4 exercises for core. And the core exercises we're going to do 4 times each. So we're going to do something called a side plank, which is similar to a regular plank, something that I call Kevin's. It's actually named after a friend of mine. And then we're going to do these kind of arm extensions and leg extensions, and then we'll do a V up as well. And I'll, again, run you through all those again as we get to them. But for right now, let's go ahead and stretch a little bit. And we're going to start on the floor. Most of this will happen on the floor. You do not need any equipment, really. If you want to have a weight handy, that is always helpful. So I use a 15-pound weight to do V-ups with, and as well as Kevin's, you can use a weight for that too, but you don't have to use a weight if you don't want to. So what we're going to start with is a really simple stretch where you're on your back at a nice angle, and you're just letting them drop over to the side. That's all. And then you're bringing it back to the center, and you're bringing it back to the side again. So we're going to do 10 of those, 5 on each side. So let's go ahead and start those. And you want to do them slow. Don't bounce your legs. Just nice controlled movements. And keep your arms out nice and wide. It'll kind of keep you from tipping. So we'll do 10 of those. Do those at your own pace. Kind of opens up the bottom spine. Feels really good. 10 total.
As you guys are doing that, just a reminder that you are all muted. So if you have any questions or concerns or want Craig to explain an adaptation, just type it in that group chat and I'll shout it out to Craig, since it's hard for him to see the screen when he's crawling all over the floor.
And because he's blind.
And because he's blind.
Once you get done with that, we're going to do something called cat and cow. And so a cow is like you let your lumbar spine drop down nice and low, so you actually make like a little bit of a dish in your back. And then a cat is like a cat at Halloween, where they kind of bridge up and look all scared. So we're going to do 10 cats and cows. So start, and again, do those nice and slow at your own pace, but just do 10 of those. Kind of get your back nice and loose. They should feel like nice and easy. They shouldn't like tweak your back at all. They shouldn't make you feel stiff. They should do the exact opposite of that. All right, once we get through those, we're gonna do downward dog. It's a pretty easy yoga stretch where you're kind of like sitting on your haunches, put your hands out in front of you straight, and you're stretching pretty far forward, and then you're just bringing your head down nice and low. I rest my head on the ground. You don't have to if you don't want to. And if it feels too stiff, stay a little bit more forward. If you can stretch back into your haunches, that actually helps too. And so we're just going to hold that for 10 seconds as well. And I just count off in my head. And when you start to feel looser, I just kind of relax my shoulders and it'll drop you down a little deeper into the stretch. Cool. All right, so we're going to jump in. So what we're going to start with first is a side plank. We're going to do that for a minute. A side plank looks like this. You have both feet stacked on each other. Your elbows kind of tucked under your shoulder right here. And all you're going to do is you're going to push up into a plank where this part of your body stays nice and straight the whole time. If you're having trouble doing that, if you need an adaptation to kind of take some of that weight, what I would suggest is having either a small pillow or a block, a foam block. I have neither. A lot of times in yoga studios, they'll have a foam block that will go right under your your hip right here. So the foam block will take the weight for you a little bit, but you still want to keep this part nice and rigid. And what we're going to do is to make it kind of a little bit more difficult is we're going to kind of stay in that. And as we roll from 30 seconds, we're going to come into a flat plank like this. And then we're going to just roll right to our other side. So that way you're never really coming out of that plank position. We're going to hold that for the whole minute, and then we'll kind of work up. The second exercise we're going to do is the thing I said that we call Kevin's. Kevin's is where you're on your back, you're flat, you're hovering your feet at 6 inches, you're holding your weight, or if you're not using a weight, your arms are above you, and you're keeping your feet at 6 inches the whole time, but you're coming up into a sit-up like this, and then you're doing what they call a Russian twist, so you're touching the ground on either side. If you have a weight in your hands, as you come up, the weight just taps the ground on either side, and then comes back to the neutral area, and then you're back down. Your feet, though, never move from what you're looking at right there. So they're that 6-inch kind of bouncing around zone. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you can bring your feet higher, kind of makes that curl easier, or you can drop your feet totally. That's completely acceptable too. Adaptations for that one is probably not using a weight. And as you roll over into that Russian twist from here, that Russian twist just nice and slow. You're not kind of flying over to it. You're just nice and control both ways, and then you're just letting yourself back down. Arm extensions and leg extensions are kind of from a yoga stretch as well. What we're going to do is you're going to be on your hands like in a crawl, and this arm is straight, palm out towards the center, and it's the opposite foot, and you're doing this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring that in and touch, and then go back out, and then bring that in and touch. We're going to do 5 of those on each side. So you'll be here, touch that knee, bring it back out, touch that knee, bring it back out. We're going to do 5 on each side, and then we're going to do V-ups. V-ups we did last week, which are like this. Again, you do not have to use a weight. You're starting in that 6 inches. The weight is hovering 2. You're coming up into a V, and then you're going right back down, up into a V, and then right back down. So we're going to do 10, basically 10 of each exercise. We're going to do those 4 times. We're going to kind of do a pyramid. So we're going to go up as we go. Side planks will start at a minute, and we'll kind of tack on about 15 seconds each time. So here we go. I'm going to set the clock. And if you guys have questions, remember you can just type it to Gwen, and she will ask me. So again, feet are nice and stacked on each other. We're going to pull up into that plank, and here we go. We're going to go for a whole minute. 30 seconds on each side. And just try to keep that nice straight line right here. That's the idea. If you have balance issues, you can throw an arm out in front, because what I'll do is it'll kind of keep you from tipping either way. So as we're coming up here on 30 seconds, we're going to roll to flat. So right now, roll to flat, and then step right over to your other side. And we're going to go same 30 seconds. Awesome. Coming up on 55. So we're going to go 2 seconds longer. Good. That's it. Nice. So now we're going to go into those Kevin's. So remember, that's if you want a weight, that's great. If not, that's fine too. You're on your back, feet are 6 inches, and then you're doing those Russian twists at the top. So we're going to do 10 of those. So I'll give you 5, or you'll do 10 straight up and down Russian twist on each one. So we're going to do those right in a row. Do them at your own pace. Again, feet are hovering at 6 inches. Here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's actually 8. This is 9. Here's 10. Excellent. You should feel like the pull is pretty much this entire core. That's the beauty of those kinds of things. You're kind of engaging your entire ab muscles, not just a little bit. So we're gonna do these extensions. So remember, palm is rotated in, leg opposite is up. So we're gonna do 5 on each side. So you're just gonna kind of hold that position, nice and steady and strong, and then you're just pulling in. 1, 2, just like that. So we're gonna do 5. Let's start with those. All right, here we go. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're switching sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll hear people talk about coring up when they're working on their core. When you're doing those kinds of exercises, it's really helpful. Core up means you're tightening everything. So you're exhaling and tightening at the same time. So when I come in like this, I'm clenching here and blowing out at the same time. It gets you a nice tighter core. We're gonna do V-ups, 10 of those. Again, with the weight or without, totally your call. V-ups, start with a 6-inch raise. The weight or your hands are behind you, and you're just coming up into a nice, sharp feet. And we're gonna do 10 of those in a row. Go at your own pace. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome, that's 1 round. So now we're gonna rest 2 minutes. So if you have water, drink some water. If you have questions, ask questions. Your tummy should feel nice and warm. As I look outside, it looks like springtime, which makes me not so happy to be inside.
Give it 2 days in Colorado, we've got snow coming back in.
Yeah, I saw that. And then next week is like 19 degrees and ugh.
See, I think it's good for everyone when the weather is bad right now because we are stuck inside, so we can all enjoy the inside versus the longing for outside.
This is true. This is very true. Because we actually took our dogs for a hike today, and we were talking about that. Like, it's a lot easier or a lot harder to do all this distancing when it's beautiful, 70 degrees. So when it's 20 degrees and like yucky, it's a lot easier. That's 1:10. We're gonna rest for 2 minutes, and we're gonna go right into those side planks. Same idea, 30 on each side, but now we're gonna tack on a little bit longer on that front. When you roll into the front plank, we're gonna just stay on that one for 10 seconds and then roll to our other side. Again, if you're feeling like you can't roll over there, however, balance issues, things like that, put your knees down to make that transition easier. Get you popped over. All right, coming up on 44. Both feet down, nice and flat. All right, here we go. Up on a side plank. Keep it nice and flat in here. We don't want to sag, because that'll actually hurt our backs. And we don't want to go too high. That's just really uncomfortable. So nice flat bar. And your front arm really doesn't do anything. It's like a flipper. So we're coming up on 25 seconds. And what we're going to do is, remember, when we roll, we're going to stall at that middle, that front plank, and we're just going to stay there. So roll over onto a front plank. We're going to stay there for 10. All right, now we're going to roll up onto our other side. Ten more seconds. Two. Awesome. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going into Kevin's, which are again those sit-ups with the Russian twist in the middle, at the end, I'm sorry. And we're gonna do 10 of those again. So 6-inch starts, roll right up in, do the Russian twist on either side or right back down. So go at your own pace. We're gonna start now. 1, 2, 3. Don't let those feet hit. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Now we're going to do the arm leg extensions. Palm in towards the middle, 5 on each side. All right, here we go. Let's stretch it all out. Remember, this is where you really want to core up that core and bring it in nice and tight. Here we go, 5 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we do 10 more V-ups. Yay. V-ups again, 6-inch hover with your heels, right up into that nice tight V. Go at your own pace, but we're gonna do 10. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Halfway there. 2 minutes. Guys are cruising. My clock turned. Drink water if you have it. Coming up on 50 seconds. That's a minute. So now on the side planks, on that front plank, we're just gonna hold that for another 15 seconds. So now we'll be doing about 1:45 for the total though. So our sides will always be 30s. We're just gonna add on to the middle piece. Again, if you're feeling, when you're rolling, drop that knee if you feel like you're kind of tippy. We don't want anybody to tip over. And then if you're in the side plank, you can also remember for an adaptation, if you have a block, you can put a block under your hip. That will kind of take some of that weight for you as well. So coming up on 1:46.7. So get ready to go into that side plank first. We're gonna go 30 and then right into a front plank. Okay, here we go, up to the side plank. Remember, nice flat sides, no sagging and no bridging. Now we have nice strong shape. Almost making a triangle right here. Now as we come up on 30, we're just gonna roll to that front plank. That's 25. All right, here we go, right to the front plank. Just gonna stay here for 15. All right, now tipped up onto that other side. Cool. 15 more seconds, you guys are killing it. Nice, 5 more. Nice and strong. Awesome. Okay, now right into the Kevins. With or without the weight. And we're doing 10, so you guys do them at your own pace. Make sure those heels don't touch the ground though, okay? Starting there, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Arm and leg extensions. Again, 5 on each side. Nice and controlled. Remember to be really coring up that belly. Keep it nice and tight. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 10 V-ups. Piece of cake. Remember, 6 inches to start, and then right into a nice tight V. 10 of them at your own pace. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. One more set, 2-minute break. Guys are cruising, almost there. It's hotter today. Sometimes if I'm resting, I stretch my back again, just because my back gets tight when I do this stuff. It keeps me limber. Well, it keeps me more limber. I would never say I'm limber. Most adaptive athletes I know are really not limber. The other stretch like this one, you drop that leg down and you cross your leg over. It feels awesome on your hips. And then switch sides. Okay, so this will be the longest plank session yet. So we're gonna go 30 on our sides, and then we're gonna go 30 in the middle, and then we're gonna go 30 on the other side. So minute and a half of planking with that, whatever your transitions are. Hello. This is my co-clinics. Oh, both of them now. The whole team's here. Hello. They don't do planks though. They just eat snacks. Okay, coming up on 147, 50. All right, so get ready to go into that side plank. Okay, here we go, up in the side plank. Staying here for 30. Hey, quit pushing me. The dog is sabotaging me. Nice and rigid. Be thinking like nice and solid, nice and rigid. Kind of envision that. Makes you feel that way then. Okay, we're coming up to our front plank. Roll into that front plank. Gonna stay here for 30. Oh, sorry, doggy. Hi. Ten more seconds for the front. All right, roll up onto that other side now for 30. I don't know if you guys can see Luna doing her plank. She does the back plank. 15 more seconds. Five more. Awesome. All right, going right into the Kevins. Watch out. Go. All right, here we go. Send 10 more of the, hello. Watch out. Move. 10 of these, whenever you're ready. 1, move. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Now the 2 extensions. All right, 5 on each side. Watch out. Go that way. Move. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's switch that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, last one. 10 V-ups. 6-inch hover with the heels. And then 10 at your own pace. Finish nice and strong. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. So now what we'll do to stretch out some of that is we'll start on our back again. And we're going to do that same first stretch. So you're going to drop our legs over. Try to keep your hips flat on the ground if you can. I can't, but you might be able to. And it'll just give you a nice stretch across all your midsection. And just roll it nice and gently back and forth. Just to kind of get some of that lactic acid moving. So for core, I do core work like 4 days a week. And this is like a weird time. So it's a lot easier to do it now because you have the time. With climbing, everything comes from your core. So the stronger you can be here, the better off you are climbing. Helps prevent injuries. So do them as many times as you feel comfortable. You kind of can't do too much. If it's a little bit tender, then give it a rest day. Your core actually recovers quite quickly because you're using your core a lot throughout the day, no matter what you're doing. We're going to keep doing this once a week, though. I would recommend, like I said, doing it at least twice a week. And then we will kind of come back same time Friday and do it all again. Thanks, you guys. If you have any questions, shoot them to me in the chat, or you can just email them to me, too. Thanks for playing.